And so by you standing strong and sharing your testimony, you're giving hope and encouragement to somebody out there that may be listening to you. That's why I'm so transparent in the things that I've been through. And you will not believe the amount of individuals that have came to me and said, wow, I really thought I was alone. I didn't know you went through that. I went through this too. Or I didn't think about it like this or that. There really is a way out. It's just a variety of comments that come back just by me sharing what I went through. And following on that, the perfect segue, today we have a guest on the line with us that we will be speaking with. But today he is actually starting his own cause or his own mission for men. He's calling all brothers to join their men's campaign against domestic violence to protect and respect our women and girls. A nation can rise no higher than its women, as they say. So Saturday today, April 13th, from 3 until 5 p.m., please, men, meet him at 4340 North 46th Street. This is the Park Lawn YMCA located right here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Again, that address is 4340 North 46th Street. This event today is serving as the kickoff to the men's campaign. And I won't talk much further into it because we do have our brother Minister William Muhammad on the line. And so he'll be able to share a lot more with you about the campaign, what's going to be happening today, and what they're looking to do with this campaign. One of the phrases that I love that I see on his advertisement is it says, abuse of our women means abuse of our nation, and the protection of our women means protection of our nation. So without further ado, I would like to welcome to speak your piece, Minister William Muhammad. Good morning.
I'm very honored to be a part of the platform that you're providing for the benefit of the community, and particularly for the benefit of our dear sisters as a healing agent.
Yes. So, Minister Muhammad, what is going to be happening today? I know this is the kickoff, but can you share with our men exactly what they can expect and what the men's campaign is all about?
Well, we're calling this the kickoff, but really this is just a continuation. We have been working with your family services, our dear sister Antonia Drew Van, for years. And over the past 2 years, we've had about 3 men-only events and joint events dealing with the subject of domestic violence, sexual abuse. And so we're calling it the kickoff because we really want to accelerate it. We really want to get more men involved. We want to have more focus on this issue.
Okay.
So today, what we'll be doing is gathering as men. We'll be discussing the value of the woman.
Wow.
From the perspective of the teaching of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and my spiritual father in teaching, the Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan. And then we'll break off into circles to discuss it, break it down a little bit deeper, and then even discuss how we can effectively implement a campaign in the community, a campaign in the schools, a campaign amongst our youth to help them to see the value of our women and girls, how important they are from God's point of view, and how important they are from a practical point of view, that when we abuse our women, we abuse ourselves, our community, and our nation. That slogan that you repeated, when you abuse your women, you abuse your nation, it's more than just a slogan. It really is a divine principle. It's universal law, and it comes from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. A nation can rise no higher than its woman. It comes from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And it really is a principle because the woman is the first teacher. It is God who cooperates with the woman to bring forth human beings. And whenever there is an issue or problems that humanity needs to be resolved, if there's going to be a cure for cancer, if there's going to be a cure for AIDS, if there's a need for a liberator, a prophet, a messenger, a messiah, God produces the answer to the problems of society through the female. And he knows what's in his womb. So he cooperates with the woman.
Wow.
To produce the answer to what humanity needs. And if God uses the woman in that way, her womb is sacred. It is the divine laboratory by which God does his work. That means that the woman is much more important, much more divine than society gives her credit for and ascribes to her. Her value is so high in the eyes of God that when men begin to view and reflect God's attitude towards the female, then you will see producing a better people, a better fruit, and you will see us all rise as a people when we place the woman in her proper place in society.
Wow, that is deep. That is really deep. And so these are the principles that are being taught.
These are the principles of the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And this is why, when we say we're kicking off a campaign against this, these principles have always been a part of our teaching.
Okay.
As you see the book out in the community with the Trump Call newspaper, the Mighty FOI, and we're inviting people to our event, and we invite people to come to the mosque. Well, regardless of what the subject is, this aspect of our teaching will always be incorporated into it. So, because it's about building a community, it's about building a nation.
Yes.
And the cornerstone of any strong community, the cornerstone of any strong nation is marriage or family or male-female relationship. And so what we teach is the value of the family and the proper roles of male-female and how we're to interact with one another in a peaceful way. There are principles of successful relationship. There are laws to mating. Because both men and women have really been robbed, particularly in the black community. We've been robbed of the knowledge of ourselves.
Yes.
So we really don't know who we are as men. And as men, we don't really know our own value. And in a society like this, where, we have the legacy and the history of slavery and white supremacy, where we've been made to hate ourselves, we reject ourselves, we don't look at ourselves in a positive light, much less a divine light. And if you don't love yourself, then you can't love your brother.
Yes.
Jesus says that, that you love others as you love yourself. But if you don't love yourself, then of course, how can you love other people? How can you see other people as value if you don't see yourself as valuable? So when you look in the community, you see us killing each other. You see us doing drive-bys. You see us selling drugs to one another. You see us abusing our women. And it really is at its root of a lack of love for self, a lack of knowledge of self. So we go a little bit deeper. When a man does not understand his own value, then of course he doesn't see the value in his woman. Of course, he doesn't see the value in the females in his life because it's a reflection of how he sees himself. So when a man chooses a woman and he beats the woman, he doesn't even realize that he's beating himself. He doesn't realize that he's hurting himself. He doesn't realize that he is sentencing his seed, which is his future, to death, to confusion, to self-hatred, to insecurity. And this is a self-perpetuating downward spiral that the community is suffering from. So when you look at the confusion, at the death, and the signs, the vital signs of the black community, you can connect it right back to our treatment of our women and our girls.
Wow. So this brings, wow, I'm just so overwhelmed right now with emotions because this really This really,
I mean, think about it.
man.
Think about it. Let's just take a case scenario, right?
Okay.
So you produce. You have a woman. You have a wife, or you have a girlfriend, and you don't see yourself as valuable. You don't. So obviously, you don't see her as valuable. So you produce. You plant your seed in her, and she tells you that she's pregnant. Now, this is without abuse. Now, this is without even putting your hands on her, and you tell her, well, you know, I didn't ask for that. I'm not interested in that. That's on you. So now what you've done is you've rejected her, and you've rejected your own seed. See, that's a form of abuse right there.
Yes.
So now, how does she feel? What is in her mind? She feels rejected. She feels insecure. She may look at different options. Well, what may be one of the options that she's looking at? One of the options that she might be looking at is getting rid of what is in her womb. So now she's thinking about abortion. Well, that's legal in this country.
Right.
So what effect does that have on her mind and the effect on the child if she decides, you know what, I think I might go ahead and have this baby? But here is the deeper principle that Minister Farrakhan has taught us. See, the woman has two wombs. The first is, of course, the physical womb. I mean, you know, you have the physical womb where she produces the child. But the first womb is the brain, the mind.
Whoa.
The thoughts, the ideas. And when she has in her mind the thought of getting rid of this child, the thought of rejection of the child, the thought of insecurity, the thoughts are real. Thoughts produce hormones. They produce chemicals that go into the bloodstream. They have weight. They have power. And at the same time that she's thinking these things, she's producing a child. She's shaping the brain of the child.
Wow.
Her mentality is so important. Not just what she eats. Her mentality, her attitude. So as she is producing a child in the womb with the spirit of rejection, with the
Yes.
spirit of getting rid of or murder, she is inclining what she is producing in the womb to rejecting herself. She's inclining what she's producing in the womb to murder. And we're looking in our community and we see cold-blooded murderers and 13, 14, 15-year-olds, and we wonder what's going on with these children. But it's a thought, the womb.
Jesus.
That's how critical and how woman is, how valuable she is. And her thinking must be guarded. She must be taught. She must be cultivated. She must be made secure. And it is us as men that have to play a vital role in producing that level of security and making her feel secure. Because every wise man, I said, they know that they can't live forever. And what they build and what they're producing and what they're dedicating their life to, they want to see it go on beyond them. And they know that it can go on beyond them with their offspring. So they understand the woman because they live on into the hereafter. But when you're a foolish man, you don't see that.
Yes. So until next week, if we have any listeners that, may be experiencing domestic violence, if they're not sure, if they need someone to talk to, I would like to share some phone numbers with you. Please call 1-800-799-SAFE, SAFE. That is a national domestic violence hotline.